Oh, hi, y'all. Welcome to Nikki's World, where my podcast show will give you viewpoints and insight that others will not give. I'll talk about like what's current, what's on the news, what is out there, and I will always cite sources and I always cite facts and news links so y'all know what I'm actually talking about. I give you my viewpoints and opinions, and if you want to hear what I have to say, what's on my mind and all that, I let y'all into my world and let y'all hear and listen to what I'm thinking and what's going through my mind. So if you love stuff like that, tune into Nikki's World twice a week, where you'll get 2-3 podcast episodes a week on what I talk about and what's on my mind. So thanks for listening, and let's get on with the show, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, y'all? Let's do this. Oh, hi guys. Welcome to Nikki's World. I'm Nikki, your host, and today, guys, we're going to talk about that controversy in the Paris Olympics about that two supposedly female boxers, but they clearly look like dudes. So we're going to talk about that and so much more. But before we go any further, guys, if you guys love Nikki's World so much, seriously, y'all, seriously, can y'all please consider donating a cup of coffee for me? Because for the price of a cup of coffee at Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, and Cumberland Farms, guys, you guys help keep this podcast show alive. You guys help me curate more stories, more topics like this to talk about. I do accept Bitcoin donations. I am on Locals, guys, if you guys want to support and sponsor Nikki's World. If you guys love Nikki's World so much, seriously, y'all, please hit that like, subscribe, please give me a review. Good, bad, and the ugly. Also, guys, I do have a bunch of affiliate links, including Minds.com, which is the alternative to Facebook. If you value free speech, you can join me on Minds.com. I also have a diaper referral link, so if you know anybody that needs adult diapers like I do, you guys can buy them from North Shore Medical Supply in the link in the description below. And also, guys, I do have a link to burner.com. If you guys believe in self defense and want a less lethal option, you guys can buy a burner pistol in the link in the description below. And before we get this show on the road, literally, guys, if you guys love this episode and any of my other episodes on Nikki's World, seriously, y'all, please consider sharing this across all the social media platforms that are out there today. Woo-wee. Wow, guys. Wow, that was a mouthful, ladies and gentlemen. That was a mouthful. And yes, guys, I've been away a lot since like July. That's because grad school picked up again. I'm in my other semester. of grad school, so which means it's been a lot between grad school classes, work, and trying to keep up with homework and all my other stuff. And then on top of that, doing photo shoots as well, guys. So it's been a lot. It's been a whirlwind, guys. So it's been busy. So I've been away from podcasting a little bit, but now that I got pulled back in, you know what I mean? I got pulled back in due to this controversy in Paris, which a couple of my friends wanted me to talk about, wanted me to give my opinion, viewpoints, and beliefs on this issue. So I'm going to give you my spin on this. I'm going to give you my point of view on this. And let y'all know how I feel. And I had one question somebody asked me, like when I always say I'm diapered up, ready to go. The fact of the matter is, guys, I'm also incontinent and I'm also an adult baby as well. So I'm incontinent, so I wear diapers 24/7, 365 days a year. But that's another podcast show in itself later down the road that I will talk about, okay? So, anyway, let's get on with the show, shall we? So, as y'all know, the Paris Olympics is going on right now in Paris, France, okay? And then controversy brew with these two supposedly female boxers, one from Algeria and one from Taiwan, okay? Supposedly they look female, but when they were in the ring fighting with the actual female, they didn't even last less than a second. So to me, these are dudes who claim to be women fighting women, but then you have liberal feminists, trans cult members saying, oh, this is paving for equal rights, equal rights, equal rights. Equal rights at the expense of others is not equal rights at all, ladies and gentlemen. Equal rights is basically everybody getting a shot, fighting in their own class, fighting their own thing. Not like not like beating up on the other group and then claiming that that's equal rights. That's not equal rights, ladies and gentlemen. That's not, okay? The fact that the International Boxing Association said that these two supposedly female athletes failed the gender test, which include genetic DNA testing, and the Olympics allowed it, just goes to show, man, the Olympics is no longer an Olympics. It's more like the woke Olympics to me. Okay? So the fact that that the International Boxing Association came out with a statement and it's posted everywhere online saying that these two supposedly female athletes failed their standard for what is considered female to compete with female, but the Olympics committee allowed them to compete. Yeah, they said that they're going to strip them of their award and give their award to the women. Yeah, yeah. And then the funny thing is, and I want to say this also. The funny thing is also, you have leftists, both left and right, coming out saying, "Oh, these are women who are intersex, who have DSD," and then they're coming out with all these wild ass conditions from polycystic ovarian syndrome like that, and then I'm like this, I'm like going, you people don't know what intersex DSD actually look like if it fucking hits you in the head. You people don't know. So the fact that that you got leftists everywhere saying that, oh, they're intersex, they're women with intersex conditions. Look at the picture. I could put 10 endocrinologists and 10 geneticists lined up in a row, show them their picture, and I'll bet you 9 out of 10 they'll say that they're a dude. The fact that these two countries allow these dudes to compete and beat up women just goes to show the left is okay with beating and assaulting women. Yeah, the left is. The problem I see here with this is that there are two angles to this. First of all, the left is cheering on these two dudes who claim to be women beating up women in the Paris Olympic Games in the boxing competition. But then the other angle is how you have leftists who are trying to excuse these dudes by claiming, oh, they're intersex. They have this, they have this, they have this. But but then when you have the International Boxing Commission come out and fact check the living fucking effing daylights out of the left, it just goes to show, ladies and gentlemen, that basically the people who claim to be all about science, the people who were wanting you to wear not only a face diaper, but your other diaper, but your butt diaper, you know, all of a sudden, when people like me who are intersex walk on, they freak out. They run out the door. And full disclosure here, ladies and gentlemen, I'm also an intersex DSD person. I'm diagnosed with Kalman syndrome. So I'm a real deal intersex DSD person who has knowledgeable and is knowledge on all the intersex conditions out there. Okay. And by the way, guys, full disclosure, PCOS is not an intersex condition. No matter what your leftist or right friends say, it is not. Okay. I can even cite you the Medline and the PubMed sources about it, and I will tell you that it's not intersex by any stretch of imagination. Okay. Your leftist friends will try to say, oh, trans cult members have PCOS. They're women. They don't know what they're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. They do not know. They're just talking to puff themselves up, to make them look like they're important. They're big. They're like they're big and bad and all this bullshit. That's all they're doing. Okay. The fact of the matter is, these two athletes, one from Algeria and Taiwan, I saw their picture. They look male to me. They look totally male. There is nothing female about them. There's no distinguishing, there's no like, even with a sports bra, there's no bra line that tells that they're female. You could even look at their legs, their arms. Even a geneticist can go like this. That's clearly male. There's no way they could be female by any stretch of the imagination. There's no way. The fact that the Olympics did away with genetic testing is why they allowed this shit. Okay? Genetic testing would have just ruled out like people who are like trans faking women to compete. But I would carve out an exception for intersex DSD people. I would carve that out. And as an intersex person, I would say like this. If you're an intersex person that has Kalmans, Kleinfelters, Turners, AIS, CAH, okay, and a host of others, it should all be based upon science and the genetics, okay, and a combination of chemistry and physiology. It shouldn't be based on ideology. Ideology should be like this, shoved out the window and thrown in the trash can. Okay? It should all be based upon genetics. All right? It should all be based upon it. The fact of the matter is that these mediocre male athletes was able to slip in, compete in the women's boxing competition, and pummel women. And then the leftist champion it, like going, oh, equal rights, equal rights. Oh, this shows we're all equal and all this. At what expense, ladies and gentlemen? At what expense? The expense is that women get beaten up, assaulted. One probably got a broken, bloody, like a black eye, or basically one couldn't last 45 seconds in the fight, said, I quit. Yeah. So for you to tell me this is all about championing equal rights, go tell that to the Italian woman who got her ass kicked by that Algerian male boxer who pretended to be a woman. Go tell her that. Go tell her that. Go tell her that to her straight face. Go tell her that. The fact of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, the International Olympic Committee allowed this, and women should boycott the games altogether. They should just say, no, thank you. We're not competing in the Olympics. Because if other countries are gonna allow men who claim to be women to compete in women's sports, there's an unfair advantage right there. There is. There is. Now, if we all want to be equal and all that, the Olympics should come out with an open division where men and women can compete together if they choose to do so. Okay, if they choose to do so. But then you keep men's and women's division separate. But then you'll have trans cult members say, "Oh no, that's discriminatory and all this. You're not affirming my fetish." We're not, because you know why? We want to make sure everybody has a fair playing field, regardless of you what you call yourself identify as. But we have to keep things like segregated due to biology and physiology. It's that simple, guys. It's that simple. And as an intersex DSD person, I've been seeing online a lot of leftists calling these athletes intersex DSD. And I sit there and I go like this with my head like this, going, these people don't know what they're fucking talking about. These people have no fucking idea what an actual intersex DSD person looks like. They're basing it off these two male athletes, and they're thinking, oh, that's what intersex looks like. That's what intersex looks like. They don't even know what women look like, let alone what an intersex person looks like, ladies and gentlemen. They don't. They don't. They know is what women look like from probably what watching porn. Yeah, yeah, that is. The fact of the matter is, guys, these two male athletes who clearly look male should not be allowed to compete in women's sports. And the Olympic Committee and the International Boxing Association should have them removed from competition and saying, until you can submit a doctor's letter that you're female or you have an intersex DSD condition, we will consider you competing in women's sports or in the division that your doctors feel you're comfortable in competing. It's that simple. But if they don't want to do that testing, they should be like this. Bye, out the door. Bye. All your supposed wins will be wiped off. It's that simple. The fact of the matter is that these countries were actually cheating. These countries were actually cheating in the game to supposedly put these so-called women on the Olympic stage when clearly they look male. That's cheating. That harkens back to like the Cold War days in the Olympics when East Germany was supposedly putting men who claim to be women in the Olympics. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, we are witnessing the biggest scandal in the Olympic history. We are. Let alone their opening ceremony who mocked Christians. I'm surprised they didn't mock Muslims because, oh, you know what would happen if they mocked the Muslims. It'd be like this. Ladies and gentlemen, all bets are off the table when it comes to the Muslims. All bets are off the table. Okay? But like I said, these weak, mediocre male athletes who are being championed and celebrated by the left, it just goes to show the left doesn't care about women's rights and safety when it comes to like athletic competition. All they care about is their socialist, communist, Marxist ideology where they think that oh women don't matter, women is what they say they feel like based on what how much porn they watch, which doesn't surprise me, ladies and gentlemen, that almost 99% of trans cult members are porn addicted dudes. Wouldn't surprise me, folks. Wouldn't surprise me as I'm standing here podcasting you in my North Shore Megamax diaper and T-shirt. Wouldn't surprise you all. It would not. But I will say this. I will say this to y'all. Every Olympics is always going to be marred in scandal. And this is one of the scandals that is a foregone conclusion that, oh, some country is going to put up some like woman competing. But when you look at her on the competition stage, it's like, oh, that looks like a dude. Yeah, that looks like a dude. So to me, guys, the Olympics is like this is a joke. I don't even watch the Olympics that much because I'm so busy with work, grad school. I don't even have time for that. That's why I don't even watch it. But the reason why my friends, especially I have friends in the radical feminist circles, they asked me to chime in on this issue because as an intersex DSD person, who else knows more about intersex DSD conditions than actual intersex DSD people like myself? So people like me who have Kalman syndrome, who know about every other intersex condition out there, I'm more of a subject matter expert. Okay, I'm more of the knowledgeable person than your radical leftist, porn-soaked Marxist, communist, Leninist dude who doesn't believe in biology and science, who thinks that men are women, who thinks that women can get pregnant, who thinks that men can compete in women's sports, doesn't even know the damn thing about the biology and science of what makes men, what makes women, what makes intersex DSD people. That's why I was asked to chime in on this issue. And the only way I chime in on this issue, guys, I podcast it out. So that way my voice gets out to everywhere. I mean, everywhere around the globe. So everyone can hear my opinion on this. Okay? So for me, I'm just going to say like this, guys. I'm just going to say like this. These mediocre male athletes who competed in the Paris Olympics should be kicked out immediately. Should be kicked out. The International Boxing Association said that they failed the gender test, and the IOC said, "Oh no, we don't care about the gender test. They earned their spot. They go." The IBA should just withdraw from the competition and say, "We're not sanctioning this competition. If you're going to say that you're going to allow men who claim to be women to compete in women's sports, the IBA should withdraw." They should withdraw from competition and say, no, we're not allowing this, we're not sanctioning this. We're This is not a sanctioned an event. This is not an IBA sanctioned an event where we're going elsewhere. So this is why they should withdraw from this. The two athletes should be kicked out immediately, and they should be made to take the gender test, which means submit a DNA karyotype, which we all know the trans cult hates DNA science because DNA is the arbiter of truth, and they hate the truth because they know you can't change your DNA no matter how hard you fucking try. And it's kind of funny, ladies and gentlemen, and I want to say this. This is the funny part of all this is that you have people on the left who try to come up with so many excuses as to why they think that, oh, men are women, women are men, oh, this, and this. But then they can't, for the life of me, guys, they can't come up with a straight answer. They can't, guys. They can't. All they can do is like twist, contort, and try to like like gaslight you into believing, oh, they're women, they're women, they're women. No, dude, they look like dudes. They look like dudes, and no amount of like gaslighting is gonna get me to say that that's those two athletes are women. They don't have the biology, the physical features, and if you look at the size of them, women aren't that. And you look at the women, the female boxers, and compare that to the two dudes, right there, ladies and gentlemen, right there tells you all. Right there tells you all. And the fact that these women boxing athletes are made to suffer for the sake of the gender cult ideology and the leftist socialist communist ideology. This is why, guys, even as a libertarian, there's a fine line to that. There's a fine line. And that fine line is that men should not be allowed to compete in women's sports. I don't care what they do to their body, what they mutilate themselves in. If they want to compete, an open division should be created for them. It's that simple. If they don't like it, there's the door. Have a nice day. Go whine, complain, have a temper tantrum, all you want, guys. Go do that. Let's go do that, guys. Go whine, complain, have a temper tantrum. That's all on you. That's all on you. But to me, the way I see it, men should not be competing in women's sports. Men should not be taking away all the hard work that women have done. Now, as an intersex DSD person, there should be a carved out exception. And if you are verified by a doctor, a scientist, that you actually have an intersex DSD condition, you should be allowed to compete based on what the scientist and the medical team says. Yeah, they can compete with women. I'm if the women athletes are okay with it, I'm fine with it. But if they're not, then they compete in an open division, and they will compete in that said division regardless. Okay, so to me, guys, I look at it like this: if these two dudes from Taiwan and Algeria are still in the Olympics, then the women should walk out and boycott the games. Should say, nope, we're not competing with this dude. Nope. They should just walk in. forfeit and walk out and say, nope, we're not competing with them. Yeah, it's that simple. It's all about fairness here, okay? It's all about like science, it's all about biology. It's all about saying, hey, we need to be fair and equal, okay? It doesn't mean that your mental illness or fetish trumps everyone else. No, it means that everybody should be treated equally and fairly, okay? That's why if I were to compete in a sport, I tell you this, I wouldn't be able to compete with men. Simply put, because my testosterone level, artificially created, is not enough to suffice to compete with men. I would probably compete more with women because my hormone level, my testosterone level, the fact that my testosterone level is artificial, not man-made. So if they were to subject me to the same tests that the female athletes have to, if I was taken away from testosterone for 6 months, I would have the same hormone level as women. Pretty much. Pretty much. But the fact here is, guys, the fact here is that the Olympics have been marred in controversy. These two so-called female athletes, one from Taiwan and one from Algeria, should be kicked out of the competition. Should not be allowed to compete. I'm sorry to say this, guys. They should not be allowed to compete against women. For the sake and safety of women athletes, these two dudes should be booted out, should be sent packing at the Charles de Gaulle International Airport and say, bye, we'll see y'all later. Have a nice day. Thanks for visiting. You see what I mean? The only reason for that, guys, is that they failed the the standard that the International Boxing Association set out. They couldn't prove that they're female. They couldn't prove that they have an intersex DSD condition. If they did, we would carve out an exception. We would say, okay, you have this intersex DSD condition. It's readily recognized by scientists and endocrinologists around the globe. So it is readily recognized. We understand it. So we can carve out an exception for that. But since these two so called female athletes can't prove it on a genetic test, that should be grounds for them to be kicked out of the IOC, sent packing, going home, and say, hey, have a nice day. Thanks for competing in the Olympics. Thanks for trying, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? Thanks for trying. And we'll see y'all, and we'll see y'all again if you can prove that you're female and you can compete with women. But if you can't, ladies and gentlemen, then we'll say like this. Thanks for competing. We'll see y'all. We'll see y'all again. And hey, if you can prove you're female, great. If you can't, hey, thank you for your time. Have a nice day. It's that simple. And for me as an intersex person, I know there are trans cult members who are going to try to latch onto this saying, oh, wow, they were able to compete with women. So that means me who's a biological male who has a 6-inch dick and a Y chromosome, who says they're female, I can compete with them. No, dude, you have a Y chromosome. But if you have an intersex condition, and if you're verified, genetically tested, chemically tested, okay, and you've been diagnosed by an endocrinologist or a geneticist, okay, or a scientist or a doctor, then we'll carve an exception for you. But if you're just like a trans dude who clearly is a dude, sorry, sorry, we have no room in place for you. Sorry, we have No room and place for you guys. We don't, guys. We don't. We have no place for you to compete in the games, and I, I'm sorry. We don't have any room left. We don't. We don't. So anyway, before we go for today, guys, I want to give like at least 10 minutes to talk about like what's been happening with me lately, what's been going on. I mean, I know y'all wondering why I hadn't podcast since the last episode. Okay, well, quite frankly, guys, I'm in my master's of social work. I'm a grad student right now, so I'm going for my master's in social work. I am projected to graduate around 2025. Next summer, I will be starting to look for work as a social worker. So I'll be basically like moving up in the field and then getting a job that pays more. Okay, because currently, guys, my job don't it pays well, but the work environment is too stressful, too much, too like basically too too much of a stress and strain on me. So that's why I'm moving up. And that's why, even though if I don't get a chance to podcast, guys, I will try to post something on my locals account about any upcoming shows, upcoming episodes. So if you guys subscribe on my locals account, guys, you guys can get hints as to what my next podcast show will be about, what I'll be looking at talking about, guys. So I will be doing that. So, other than that, I've been busy as always, guys. I've been out doing photo shoots, modeling gigs, and I'm gonna say this out here, guys. Any photographers out there that are interested in doing a photo shoot with me, I charge rates for that. Just drop me a line, send me an email, tell me you're interested, and tell me your project, and we can negotiate prices from there. Okay. And as far as like what's going to happen in the next couple of months, guys, things are going to get a little busy with grad school. I know I'm going to be looking for work. I know I'm going to be looking to do my internship. So I know I'm going to be doing a lot. So it's a lot on my plate, guys. It really is. It really is. So I know I'm going to be looking at like finding places to do my internship. So it's going to be a lot, guys. It's going to be a lot. Okay. And I got a bunch of shows coming up, and I know I got a bunch of topic ideas I want to talk about. And the big one is the presidential election coming up this year. So there are a few candidates that I am like gonna drop my endorsements on, but that'll be towards like say the Indian summer, like around September, October. That's when I'll start dropping endorsements and all that. But overall, guys, it's been a pretty good summer. Even though I'm working and I'm trying to make money, even in Brandon's fucked up economy, and knowing that like everything has gone up so much that I can't afford even the basic shit anymore. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping that Trump comes back and I have the Trump tax cuts where I can bring home more money. You know what I mean? That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm really like shooting and hoping for. Okay, guys? But overall, I've been okay. I've been pretty much like swimming along the way. So I've been trying to survive. There's been a couple of stressful days at work, but like I said, guys, I've been kicking it up and hoping to survive the whole deal. Yeah, pretty much, guys. Pretty much. So anyway, guys, I thank you guys for listening to Nikki's World. I'm Nikki, your host. I will see y'all soon. Bye for now. You just listened to an episode of Nikki's World. Thanks for listening. We'll see y'all soon. Bye for now.